Good morning, everyone. I'm Jinrong Li. Today, I will present my research on understanding the barriers preventing young adults from engaging in reuse and repair initiatives. My contents divided into 6 parts. My CLAP project is The Borrower, a Sydney-based social enterprise that promotes reuse, repair, and circular economy practices. Although sustainability awareness among young people is increasing, the borrower still faces challenges in engaging younger audiences. From my own experience, many young adults support sustainability but often choose replacement rather than repair. This led me to explore the barriers preventing young people from engaging in repair and reuse. Understanding these barriers, our group can better understand young adults' perceptions and behaviors, support future service and engagement strategies, and help the borrower better engage younger audiences. To answer my research question, I used 4 research methods. First, I conduct a literature review to identify the key barriers to reuse and repair participation using academic journals. Second, I use secondary data analysis to understand sustainability attitudes and customer trends, drawing on sources including the Deloitte Genesis survey and the Borrower annual report. Third, I carried out a benchmark analysis, comparing the borrower with Repair Cafe International to identify good practices for encouraged participation. Finally, I use content analysis to examine the borrower's website and business documents to better understand its services and communication. Together, this method helped me to identify the 4 key barriers presented in the next section. As the research is mainly based on secondary data, future primary research is needed to validate these findings. Now I will move to the findings and analysis. I organize the 4 barriers as a participation journey, because young adults usually go through these stages before deciding whether to repair a product. First, young people need enough information to understand repair services and how they work. Second, even if they understand these services, they need to feel confident that they have the skill to repair items. Third, they need to be able to access these services conveniently. Finally, even if these conditions are met, they still compare repair with replacement and decide whether repair is worthwhile. The first barrier is information uncertainty. As shown in the table, the borrower provides basic information about its services, where Repair Cafe International provides more detailed explanations, volunteer information, and repair resources. For first-time users, information is very important. If people do not know where to go, how the process works, or what will happen during the repair, they may feel uncertain. As shown in the diagram, unclear information can lead to higher uncertainty and lower participation. Therefore, information support may influence whether young adults decide to participate. The second barrier is repair skills and confidence. Research involving 922 participants found that repair skills strongly influence repair behavior. Many young adults have limited repair experience and may worry about making mistakes or damaging products. Lower confidence can reduce willingness to repair and behavior. The third barrier is convenience and accessibility. Young adults often study, work part-time, and rely on public transport. Research involved 523 young adults found that time, tools, and repair resources influence participation. Other studies also found that accessibility barriers reduce participation in repair cafes. Importantly, the borrower's owner market analysis identified distance and transport as the two main barriers. Therefore, even if young adults both repair, practical barriers may prevent participation. The final barrier is replacement behavioral and perceived convenience. The data shows that Australia values durable and repairability. However, actual purchasing behavior is much lower. When a product breaks, people often compare repair and replacement. Cost, time, and convenience become more important than sustainability. As shown in the diagram, sustainability may become a secondary consideration, leading people to replace products rather than repair them. Overall, these findings suggest that several barriers influence young adults throughout the participation process and may help explain the lower engagement of younger audiences in repair and reuse initiatives. Finally, I would like to discuss the limitations of this research and the next steps. This study mainly relied on secondary research and public available data. And there is still limited research focusing specifically on Australian young adults aged 18 to 25. In addition, the benchmark analysis compares organizations rather than the actual experiments of young people. So, these findings should be considered as an initial exploration of the barriers. Further research is needed to better understand young adults in the Australia context. Future surveys or interviews could help validate the 4 barriers identified in this study. For the group project, the next step is to test these findings through primary research and identify which barriers have the greatest influence on participation. Finally, understanding these barriers is the first step toward helping the borrower better understand younger audiences and encourage greater participation in repair and reuse initiatives. That's all. Thanks for your listening.